Here is the midday news. First, the top stories. Ogun Assembly okays Moshood University, Abeokuta and State Polytechnic, Ikokia. Presidency cautions labor unions against resorting to warning strikes. FRSC recommends nationwide ban of commercial motorcycles. Work begins on Lagos Abeokuta Ibadan Standard Gauge Rail project in March. In foreign, Iran calls Trump political novice over his travel ban. And Sri Lanka arrests astrologer who predicted president's death. Good afternoon, I am Chiene Igbo, bringing you the details of the news shortly. Ogun State House of Assembly has passed a bill upgrading the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic at Belkuta to Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. The House also passed a bill establishing the Ogun State Polytechnic in Ikmokia in the Yewa axis of the state. The passage of the bills followed a motion moved by the House Majority Leader Adeyinka Mathe after the adoption of the report of the Education, Science and Technology Committee Chairman Dr. Faswaya during the Assembly's plenary. The Deputy Speaker, Kunle Oluomo, explained during the passage of the bill that the main campus of the Polytechnic will be in Ikmokia and a satellite campus in Imeko. For the new Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, the House approved the retirement age of 65 years for its academic staff and 70 years for the professors. The Deputy Speaker says the House had been under pressure to relocate the main campus of the Polytechnic from Ikmokia to a location it did not mention. The Speaker, Suraj Adekunle, had referred the two bills to Governor Ibikunle Amosun for his assent. 109 condemned convicts are now on death row at prison formations in Ogun State. At the state's major prison in Ibara, Abeokuta, 102 out of the 1,044 of its inmates are on death row. The state comptroller of prisons, Mr. Abolade Benson, says the condemned criminals are posing a lot of challenges to the prison authorities nationwide as they're mostly restive. Benson, speaking on a Rock City FM program Daybreak Show, blames the increase in the number of inmates on death row on the refusal of state governors to sign the death warrants for their execution. Prisons authorities, according to him, lacked the power to execute a condemned criminal unless authorized by the state governors. The presidency has warned the organized labor in the country that warning strike is illegal and unconstitutional. Labor and Employment Minister Senator Chris Ngige, reacting to the ongoing warning strike by polytechnic lecturers, says there is no provision in the National Industrial Relations System for a warning strike by workers. A strike in whatever form, according to the minister, is regarded as a full strike and is subject to all the rules governing strikes. Ngige asked the striking lecturers to suspend the warning strike and embrace dialogue. The Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has asked commercial vehicle operators in Ogun State to fully comply with the installation of speed limiting device on their vehicles as full enforcement of its use begins today. The Ogun State Sector Commander Clement Oladile, who gave the advice in an interview with Rock City FM, warned that his command will not spare any defaulting commercial vehicle operators in the state. Oladile says the state government and other security agencies are ready to support FRSC in the enforcement of the use of the device on commercial vehicles. The FRSC commander warned that the non-availability of the device for purchase will not be an excuse for the operators as they know where they can get the device. Meanwhile, Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has recommended a nationwide ban on the operation of commercial motorcycles to reduce accidents on Nigerian roads. The recommendations is contained in the October Road Crash Report for 2016, which was submitted by the Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi to the Secretary to the State Government of the Federation, Babakir Lawal. Babakir Lawal. According to the report, 230 out of 1,259 vehicle accidents recorded in October 2016 involved commercial motorcycles. Already, commercial motorcycles have been banned from major highways in Lagos and Anambra states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. The presidency has directed the Federal Universities of Agriculture to stop admitting students who have no interest in practical agriculture. The Universities of Agriculture are also directed to focus only on agriculture-related disciplines and stop teaching non-agriculture-based courses like engineering. Agriculture and Rural Development Minister Chief Audu Ogbe stated this at a meeting with the registrars and pro-chancellors of federal universities of agriculture in Abuja. The minister explained that the decision was taken to reposition federal universities of agriculture to involve youths in agriculture by training them to prefer solutions. Moves have been initiated to unlock the allocation of Oyo State's 33 local governments from the Federation account frozen by a federal high court in Abuja. The first leg of the initiative was taken on Tuesday, with the Alaafin of Oyo Obalamide Adeyemi traveling to Ibadan to meet Governor Abiola Ajimobi to resolve the issues of the suspended local government pool, which is in court. Alaafin, addressing newsmen at the end of the meeting, assured that the suit challenging the seat in some areas of Ogbomoso in the newly created local council development areas will be settled out of court. Justice John Soho of a federal high court in Abuja last January 20th, ruling in the application brought before him by aggrieved communities, had suspended the proposed February 11 council polls. The judge also ordered that the allocation of all the 33 councils in the state should be withheld. A suicide bomber and a security vigilante have died in fresh bomb attack foiled in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The failed suicide attack was planned for a mosque located at Daluri Quarters on the Maiduguri-Bama highway during the early morning prayer. The state police spokesman, Victor Isuku, says the attack was carried out by a male suicide bomber who detonated an improvised explosive device vest which he was wearing when intercepted by members of the civilian joint task force near the mosque. You're still listening to the Midday News from Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business and sports news. Please do stay with us. In foreign, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani dismissed his U.S. President Donald Trump as a political novice over his temporary travel ban on Iranians and citizens of 6 other Muslim-majority countries. Rouhani, in a speech broadcast live on state television, said today is not time for separating people. Trump, who signed an order on Friday suspending the entry of people from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen for at least 90 days. Admission of all refugees was halted for 4 months and for Syrians indefinitely. Trump, according to the Iranian leader, is new to politics and that it will take him a long time and cost the United States a lot before he learns what is happening in the world. Iran has said it will take legal, political, and reciprocal measures in response to Trump's order. An astrologer who made several predictions that Sri Lanka's president Maithripala Sirisena would die has been arrested and released on bail. Most Sri Lankans follow astrologers' advice, and the suspect, Vijitha Ruhana, is a former Navy sailor convicted of attempting to assassinate India's then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1987. The police media division said Vijimuni was arrested on Tuesday evening on charges of making false predictions and comments that could mislead the public. A court in the capital, Colombo, released him on bail on Wednesday. Vijimuni posted several videos on Facebook predicting Sirisena would die of illness or accident before January 27. His predictions raised concerns of top government officials, and Media Ministry Secretary Nima Wokage asked police in December to investigate. In the letter sent to the police chief, It was said he suspected a possible coup and assassination attempt were behind Widjimoni's sustained campaign on the internet during the last few months. Next is the business news. The groundbreaking of the Lagos-Ibadan segment of the Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge Rail project will hold before the end of next month. The ceremony will kickstart the construction of the multi-billion dollars rail project. Transport Minister Rotimi Amici told the Senate Committee on Land Transport in Abuja that $1.5 billion credit has been secured from Chinese Exim Bank to finance the first phase of the project. Amechi, who explains that the federal government's 15% counterpart funding is ready, says the construction of the rail project will begin from Apapa Port in Lagos and pass through Ogun State and then to Ibadan. On the Lagos-Calabar Standard Gauge Rail project, the minister says its construction will begin after the conclusion of the ongoing talks on financing arrangements with Chinese Exim Bank. Finally, sports news. Premier League club Watford have confirmed Nigerian striker Odion Igalo has joined the Chinese Super League club Changchun Yatai after a successful medical. Watford announced on their website Tuesday night that Odion Igalo had agreed to a permanent move to Changchun Yatai. Igalo, according to the club, scored 39 goals in 100 appearances during that time, including 20 as Watford secured promotion to the Premier League in 2014-2015 and 17 during the club's first campaign back in the top flight. He moved to China for a reported £20 million. Scottish Championship club Hibernian have tabled a late loan bid for Nigerian defender Efe Andrews, who has fallen out of favour at champions Celtic. The Express claimed that Hibs boss Neil Lennon has made an offer to bring in the experienced Andrews. Hibernian led the Scottish Championship table with 48 points, and that was after 22 matches, and 8 points clear of closest rivals, Dundee United. The Nigerian defender joined Celtic from Israeli team FC Ashdod for the 2012-2013 season and has won several major honours with the Glasgow club. However, this season he failed to impress the new boss, Brendan Rodgers, after some mistake-filled displays in the pre-season. Ambrose is yet to play a league game for Celtic this season under Rodgers. That was the midday news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Ogun Assembly okayed Moshood Abiola Varsity, Abeokuta and State Polytechnic, Ipokia. Presidency cautioned labor unions against resorting to warning strikes. FRSC recommended the nationwide ban of commercial motorcycles. Work begins on Lagos Abeokuta Ibadan Standard Gauge Rail Project come March. In foreign, we reported that Iran called Trump's political novice over his travel ban, and Sri Lanka has arrested the astrologer who predicted the president's death. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/forward-live. Thank you very much for listening. I am Chenyo Ibon. Good afternoon and happy new month.